I am your goddess Nesca, here with the Trucker Woman. We're reacting to...
The Max Headroom incident. You ever heard of this?
Yes, I have. I actually saw a... Oh, he has the Randy Orton behind him today. But, I actually heard of this, on one of my little, conspiracy videos I watch and junk. They actually brought it up. It was some weird-ass, what is it, transmission that, overlaid on,
like Chicago.
like some kind of, was it a sports thing, or?
Oh no, it was like a TV thing.
No, I mean like a sports channel.
I don't know. I remember it was like it was like late at night, so.
Mm-hmm. It was some kind of weird zooby. Hi, welcome.
We've discussed before how hijacking TV broadcasts can be really serious life or death business. However, there are less dangerous and much more funny ways of doing it as well. Like inviting me onto GB News where I instantly get a bunch of Ofcom complaints for making comments on Brigitte Macron's private parts.
Captain Dankula, what do you make of this?
I don't know, I never thought there would ever be a time where there was a nude picture I didn't want to see. I feel bad for everybody in that courtroom, because you know the thing's going to look like a leper that smoked a firework. But,
Say that about
Wait, what?
Apparently, he was on BBC. He was making fun of some British politician who got his news leaked.
Oh, was it a dude or chick?
Dude,
How old?
I don't know.
They're supposed to say very.
I'm gonna say very.
He's probably not wrong.
That's not...
Democrats accuse U.S. Regulars of bullying after Jamie Kimmel.
Oh, that tells you how long ago this was.
Beth, she's not here to defend herself. If she's, you know, she's an older lady.
she's
72, isn't she? So come on.
yeah, she's every right to defend herself in court. I just think it's horrible putting the poor people that work at the court through that, but...
I haven't been invited back since, but I'm not here to talk about myself. Today, we are going to be turning the clock back to the 80s for the emergence of cyberpunk, hacker subculture, and science fiction going digital.
Oh, so this happened back in the 80s?
Yeah, this happened before we were alive.
Huh. Okay, so no wonder we wouldn't know.
Was a very big decade for William Gibson in the before four times when hackers wore long coats instead of long socks.
So was the
And
first hack
there
on
was
a
one
TV?
80s sci-fi icon in particular who managed to go from hijacking TV broadcasts in the fictional realm to doing it in real life. The Max Headroom incident. Please leave a like and a comment on this video because it really helps me in the algorithm. Hello there and Merry Christmas. Today's sponsor is...
Oh. Ad.
me. It's not very often I actually do a bunch of self-promo stuff. So what I'm actually going to shout out most of all is like my Instagram.
Oh.
I'm on Instagram now.
Yay.
Did you pause it?
Maybe.
And it's extremely boomer coded, and I'm very, very sorry about that. I love going on hikes.
Yeah.
But I also want to shout out things like my Patreon and my Subscribe Star. There's a bunch of perks that you can actually get in there where you can get your name featured in videos, or you can actually, if you have some of the higher tiers, you can actually learn what videos are actually coming out for the month. When I remember to update you. I've got a lot going on right now. But still, there's other things. There's also merch and everything down below, which is... probably sharp, which is probably do a little bit of an update as well. But basically, you can find me on Twitter, X. I refuse to call it X. You can find me on X. You can.
I need to call it X because I keep getting it confused with Twitch.
Subscribe to my Patreon. You can subscribe to my Subscribe Star. You can follow me on Instagram, and you can also follow my second channel where I cover news stories and upload a bunch of garbage and inane ramblings. Yeah,
we got an X too. I don't fucking use it.
I use it.
I know. I only use Discord, so if you ever want to get a hold of Nesca, it has to be Discord.
Very, very tired, and I'm about to take a break for the Christmas holidays. But have a very, very Merry Christmas, everyone back home. Because remember, it's Christmas.
Oh, dang.
Christmas, not Happy
Christmas
Holidays.
in July.
Anybody that says Happy Holidays,
Wait,
shoot
we're
them
going
in the
into
face.
June.
Oh, yeah.
That was a joke. Due to the enduring mystery surrounding today's misadventure, our stand-in for the protagonist is Max Headroom, a fictional cyberpunk AI talk show host created for the Channel 4 film Max Headroom 20 Minutes Into the Future, and the Max Headroom Show, both of which are set in a corporate dystopia essentially ruled by the television manipulating them.
Did we ever see that, or is that something like...
It's probably a novel or something we've never seen. By the way, they scarily predicted the future with that.
What do you mean by that?
Did you not just hear what he just said? Here.
Max Headroom 20 Minutes Into the Future, and the Max Headroom Show, both of which are set in a corporate dystopia essentially ruled by the television manipulating them.
Oh!
He's supposed to be an AI character like Neurosama. We live in that future, and that's fucking terrifying.
But Neurosama's a sweet baby.
She's gonna destroy us all.
Wait, I wonder, has Neurosama been flagged for inauthentic content?
That would be bullshit if that was.
She's pure AI.
I just absolutely love the boomers' complete lack of self-awareness. Max was promoted as the very first TV host to be computer-generated. But the technology to actually do such a thing obviously wasn't available to these Torment Nexus engineers just yet. So Max was naturally portrayed by an actor named Matt Frewer, who was made up with prosthetics and contacts, dressed in a plastic suit, shot in harsh lighting, and had stuttering added.
Did Spirit Halloween or some kind of Halloween stores exist back then?
I imagine they did.
Because obviously the guy who did this weird broadcast thing had a mask of that.
Yeah, probably wasn't that hard to get a mask. I mean, well,
Yeah.
maybe it was back
To
in the
his
day.
pitch-shifted voice, all to make him look and sound artificial. His background was also a blue screen with funky geometric graphics keyed onto it. But what really sold the entire thing was that Max was sort of treated like a Muppet. And that, as far as credits were concerned, he played himself. Frewer was actually contractually obliged to maintain kayfabe and not let anyone know that everybody's favourite AI newsman was actually just some guy. Overall, the entire thing was actually really quite creative and innovative for the time.
Yeah.
And then the Yanks found out about this techno-futurist spoof of consumerism and corporate psyops, and without a shred of fucking irony, put Max into real adverts. Part of the Max Headroom gimmick is that segment.
Is Max Headroom like something like a Doctor Who where it was European made? It's not
Yeah,
American?
it sounds like it's European made.
So it was probably not like a TV show or anything in America.
It sounds like it was a movie.
Huh.
Were bookended with static as if Max was interrupting an actual broadcast. We haven't had one of these in a while. In the business, we call this foreshadowing because on the evening of Sunday the
You said the
22nd of
thing.
November in 1987, tens of thousands of people tuned into WGN TV Channel 9 for the 9 o'clock news, where Dan Roan was going over the day's football. And then suddenly, the feed cut to...
So that would be a mask and not prosthetics.
Yeah. Oh God. So much.
Is he in one of those, or is
As
someone
you just saw,
behind
a
like,
man and a Max Head...
was he in like one of those like weird rocking things, or was someone just behind him like just going wee wee wee?
Probably someone going behind them.
Max Headroom show was on cable in America. Huh.
Huh. Probably just never watched it. It was probably way before our time.
Yeah, true. He did say 80s. I can't imagine that
Headroom
they had
mask
reruns
emerged
back
with
then.
his trademark background simulated with a rotating sheet of corrugated metal. And then, for 22 whole seconds, he just sat there stimming with garbled audio. And then, the broadcast actually returned once engineers at the John Hancock Tower got control of the signal back. All in all, it was just a weird 30-second
He's
blip.
beautiful.
Rowan was rather confused at first, but then his earpiece filled him in on what had just happened, and he just broke the tension with a quip and then powered through like a professional. Going straight back to talking about the Bears, showing those tags, who's boss.
Well, if you're wondering what's happened, so am I. Actually, the computer that we have running our news from time to time took off and went wild. So what we're going to do is start over from the top with the Bears.
If only this incident were so easily dismissed, because just a couple of hours later, a second signal hit a broadcast tower. This time, WTTW was hit during an episode of Doctor Who, the season 15
go.
Baker-era classic, Horror of Fang Rock. And it's very, very weird that this is the second time that we've discussed this episode on this channel. But it is a banger. But what makes this second hijacking so infamous beyond interrupting absolute Kino was the fact that there were no engineers at the Sears Tower where the episode was being broadcast from. Therefore, there was no one to actually stop Max from doing his thing.
Oh, shit.
So, Chicago's nerds were just stuck helplessly watching about...
Yeah, didn't it at some point start turning pornographic?
I don't remember. I never heard that.
I think it might had.
Probably someone didn't.
So ultimately, was this just the 80s version of an old school troll? Or is this some like crazy, insane, something or other conspiracy potato?
Who knows? It's probably just likely a troll.
The first troll.
a minute and a half of... Do you know what? I'm just going to show you.
Yeah, that's like sheet metal. And they're just spinning.
Giant masterpiece for all the greatest world newspaper nerds. My brother is wearing the other one. But it's naughty. I thought you got footprints on.
Oh. I think this is where it starts kind of getting a
He has
little...
the voice of an angel.
Where did they go? They're coming to get me. What? I want to know what? How much money did someone need to be able to do something weird like this? How did this fucking work? And just why?
That's a good question.
There's a lot of questions here. Here comes the part where he starts getting spanked. Hey, Dankula, you didn't think to censor the butt.
As far as I can tell, a massive electric shock, he died instantly.
So that was a little bit fucking surreal, wasn't it? So let's unpack it, shall we? Right at the start, Max came in swinging, calling the Doctor a frickin' nerd.
Oh.
Or did he?
Yeah.
We'll get into that later. when he starts bullying Chuck Swirsky, who is a sportscaster on WGN. Then he just breaks down laughing at his own bullshit before flashing a can of Pepsi. This was a reference to the new Coke ads featuring Max Headroom, hence quoting the Catch the Wave slogan while showing off their competitor. Then, the devious devil flipped off the camera with what looks like a hollowed-out plastic dick over his finger. Then he hummed the theme song of a TV show named Clutch Cargo and quoted it by saying, "I still see the X." I haven't actually seen or even heard of Clutch Cargo, so I don't know what that means. Then Max complained about his piles and made a shitting noise, presumably creating the giant masterpiece that he was dropping on the greatest world newspaper nerds, which would be the viewers at home because WGN stands for World's Greatest Newspaper. Finally, I think the spanking just kind of speaks for itself. And then the hijackers actually ended the broadcast of their own accord. They didn't get shut down, they shut it down themselves. And according to...
I guess they were done showing off their insanity?
Yeah.
I have another question. I wonder if they actually meant to take over our broadcast, or if this was maybe pre-recorded.
No, they they hijacked the signal.
They intentionally hijacked the signal.
Yeah.
It wasn't maybe accidental and someone was making a weird porn video.
No, because like I said, you would have to be in the building. You said there was no one there.
A WTTW spokesman, by the time our people began looking into what was going on, it was over.
Point?
And since Doctor Who is known to break the fourth wall from time to time, I can't help but find the very first line after the hijacking a rather amusing coincidence. Despite Doctor Who likely not being the intended target of the hijacking, which we will discuss later, I do find it rather fitting in a way. The use of a corrugated metal sheet as a practical effect is actually quite reminiscent of many classic Doctor Who episodes with very charmingly scuffed effects. Like this bubble wrap monster that, believe it or not, the production actually got away with just because of the sheer strength of the writing. Before Mary Whitehouse unleashed John Nathan Turner's worst excesses, doing so much damage that not even Andrew Cartmel, ushering in a second renaissance for the show, could save it from Michael Grade, who I still have a blood feud with to this day. Honestly, it was the biggest travesty in the history of the BBC. Almost. Also, Max sounded like a cyber...
Nah, I think the newest travesty of the BBC is what they did to Doctor Who.
I think he's referring to the last, before they went to the female doctor, the doctor before that. Because remember how much we hated that doctor, and then we went to her, and it's like, oh god, the writing is dog shit.
I didn't hate that last Doctor. That was the 12th, wasn't it?
That was...
Or 11th? I can't remember.
12. Yeah, that was 12.
I didn't hate the 12th Doctor. I thought that one was pretty good.
It was good in the beginning, but... I think the show honestly just needs to end at this point. It's been going on way too long.
Well,
So is The Simpsons.
so is a lot of things.
Man. And I think that's pretty cool. But how did Max do it? How do you just hijack an entire TV broadcast?
Yeah, I got questions. How?
Well, it was a simple case of intercepting signals. The studios themselves don't actually have the means to broadcast their stuff. So instead, they transmit their microwave signals to a really, really, really tall tower. Which then...
Yeah, because because they don't have the tower next to the place. You have to broadcast it to the tower, and then they have to boost the signal out to... At least that's how they did it back in the day. That's how radio works.
Yeah.
They don't have the actual towers at the station. Usually the tower is somewhere else. Plus, you probably don't want people sitting next to those towers because they put out a lot of microwave radiation.
Points.
Remember it was like the Dirty Jobs where they had to go change the light bulb and said, hey, when you get halfway, stop because we got to switch the transmitter, otherwise you'll get microwaved.
Ooh. I'm guessing dude just did it because he felt like he could. He wanted to make a point, maybe?
The thing is, no one knows. They never got caught.
Yeah, true. That was probably. What would you even call this? Really a crime?
It's just like trolling someone's like stream sniping or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Amplifies that signal and then beams it into everyone's boob tubes.
Boob tubes.
So-called not because of roughly half of the legacy of Game of Thrones, but because boob is a term for idiot over in America.
Booby.
And everybody knows that TV makes people stupid. So all the hijackers had to do was transmit...
Actually, that's a question. Why is boob a term for an idiot?
I don't know. It's just
Is it because when people look at boobs, they become idiots?
maybe. Speaking of which, I think the thing's still printing the boobs.
I think he did it because he thought it was funny. Bored, money, time, I guess.
Someone who knew what the fuck they were doing. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
their own signal at the broadcast towers at a strength that overpowered the signals being sent from the studios, essentially taking over the entire tower. Now, that sounds very, very simple, but it's not. And this is where things start to get very, very interesting. Because such a feat would have required very sophisticated technical knowledge, a lot of power, and a very powerful transmitter that would have set the pirates back about $25,000 to overpower this TV signal.
So ultimately, this person was someone who was wealthy. Definitely, because there would have been no other way.
Shit.
So yeah, I was right in assuming that they had to have a lot of money to do something like this.
And they would have needed a direct line of sight to the broadcast towers. Which is rather easy because towers and broadcast antennas tend to be a bit tall to cover a much larger area. Because, well, that's the point of them. The hijackers also had to be a little bit high up themselves. But any roof or even a high-rise flat would have done it.
And then that whole segment was live recorded. It wasn't like just a new. It was.
It was probably re-recorded, and they just.
It was pre-recorded.
I'm gonna guess
because not only would they need somewhere high to transmit, but they would also need like a whole like little kind of a studio thingy.
Yeah.
To do some of the stuff they were doing.
So where did the hijackers broadcast from?
That would have been caught easier.
We don't actually know exactly, but we do have a rough idea. Here is a map of Chicago as Google sees it, which I have annotated. Ignore the alerts about the shootings, I mean, it's Chicago. The line between points 1 and 2 show the path of the signal from WGN Studio to the John Hancock Tower. And the line between points 3 and 4 show the signal going from WTTW Studio to the Sears Tower. Though apparently they now call it the Willis Tower. Now, as I understand it as a layman, and any broadcast spergs in the audience are welcome to elaborate or make any corrections in the comments, since both signals were intercepted within a short time of each other, the hijackers would have needed to be where they were close together, i.e., in that red circle. According to Al Skerkowitz, a
So the fact that this person didn't get caught is actually pretty surprising then.
Well, back in the 1980s, they probably didn't have as many cameras as we do now.
No, I don't mean like that. I mean, if he had to be in that close a proximity to do this, and I can only imagine how would you transmit your thingy without, like, say, having like a big old like, what's it called?
Radio antenna?
Dish.
I don't think you need a dish. You need a radio antenna.
What's a radio antenna?
Just a long stick.
Oh, okay. I guess that'd be a little easier to overload.
You would have, but you need the power to do that. You need lots of power to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you need industrial generators to build that much power.
So how did he not get caught then? I feel like that would be very noticeable.
a TTW maintenance engineer who actually helped the FCC investigate the hijackings. If you were to draw a line in between both of our studio facilities, that line would end up somewhere between the Sears Tower and John Hancock downtown. Somebody could essentially see both of our transmit facilities at Sears and Hancock from the same location. of the culprit, he also said that it had to be a broadcast engineer, a satellite engineer,
Yeah.
or a ham radio operator. And probably a combination of at least 2 of those in order to pull this off. And
Unless for some reason, somehow, some way, maybe some conspiracy here, whoever was doing this had more high-tech stuff than what was capable at that junction. Say, perhaps a time traveler or an alien.
Why would you time travel back just to fuck with someone?
I don't know.
And so no one answers that question. I probably know why.
Well, Dr. Michael Marcus, a former lead investigator at the FCC who actually helped catch a couple of other TV hijackers,
Yeah.
which
That
we
would
will
be
touch on
noticeable.
later, he didn't dispute this. He did reckon that the equipment wouldn't have actually been too expensive if bought second-hand. So, while it was certainly an expert with lots of technical elite hacking skills, it isn't guaranteed to have been an industry insider. And as for how the first hijacking was foiled, well, that was just as simple as the engineers at the John Hancock Tower just changing the signal frequency of their transmission and therefore avoiding competing with the stronger signal that was knocking them off the air. But with no one at the Sears Tower to do that for WTTW, the viewers at home were helpless against the raid by the video pirates. But
Interesting. So, okay, so yeah, someone was manning the news one, which makes sense, versus no one was manning the just basic TV show one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how that happened. But also, how far apart were those? I mean, another question, where this person was broadcasting, would it be, because he was saying it had to be high, yeah?
Yeah.
So he was probably in a tower.
Again, this is not my expertise. I don't.
This is an interesting, weird one. This is where the time traveler kind of comes in, because would someone who has technology from like right now be able to get that with a lot less?
Who knows? Like I said, this is beyond my expertise.
hey, at least they followed the pirate code, because plenty of people found the hijacking
Rule
just
6 of the pirate code.
really, really funny.
Always that
Remember
fun.
to
Ron
always
and
have
all of his
fun.
colleagues thought it was hilarious. And that everyone in the studio, quote, got a laugh out of it. We went home and woke up to the newspapers, and it was a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
In fact, it was so funny that a third Max Headroom hijacking hit the 10 p.m. news on Channel 5, WMAQ-TV, a couple of days later. However, this was just the actual crew at the station behind the scenes splicing the Doctor Who footage into the highlight reel. Though,
So he inspired other trolls to just kind of have a little fun with it.
Trolls be trolling.
Trolls be trolling with another troll's troll.
that didn't stop the public from believing that this internal prank on the anchors was actually real.
Finally tonight, I guess I have to apologize for what's been happening the last couple of minutes. It's obvious that Chet Kopic's been jamming my sportscast, and you know, the guy's, he'll do anything to get back on TV. Did you see
Meanwhile, Chuck
Frankie.
Swirsky was very, very confused. He was inundated with calls from people asking if he knew what had happened. And he was actually wondering why he was called out like that personally, being just another WGN sports reporter. As he recalled, my phone started exploding. It was a Sunday night, and I had no clue what was going on, so it was a shock.
Well, whatever all that duty do, at least they were able to turn it into something positive.
Yeah. Make something fun of it.
Yeah.
Door. I gotta check the door. I think the wind's catching it.
Ow. Is it getting windy outside?
Sounds like it. Go ahead, play.
Thank you.
Completely baffled. Why me? Why insert Chuck Swirsky into this thing? I still don't understand. Besides, who in America isn't a frickin' liberal of some stripe or another? And so what if Swirsky is? It's not as if he, as he put it, is out there pontificating politically. Therefore, some people believe that the Doctor Who interruption was actually Plan B, and that WGN was the initial intended target. Which,
Yeah, going after a news network would definitely have gotten them more views than just Doctor Who streaming. So yeah, that's probably why that was their initial target. Because I feel like more people would have been watching the news versus a Doctor Who episode. But, I guess Doctor Who is a number 2 for the news.
Number 2 for the news.
Yeah, not likely to win for Putin. What's that say?
Not likely to win for Putin.
I think makes a lot of sense. Not only did Max make direct jabs at WGN, but most people wouldn't have actually even been watching Doctor Who at 11 o'clock at night, because they would have all been in bed getting ready to start the work week or actually being able to touch a boob. In contrast, the news was prime time and they were discussing their heckin' sacred sports ball. It's very, very likely that the hijackers actually got foiled trying to dunk on WGN on their own show. So they then regrouped and pivoted. And at least they got something out of doing so.
Yeah.
Because the nerds who taped the episode were very, very fucking angry that their recordings were ruined.
Oh yeah, back in the day when you would record episodes with like a VCR or something.
Oh, yeah.
My episode's ruined. You ruined my episode. Dude, if this was like an anime and it was like say like a finale of One Piece or something, and that shit happened to me, I'd be raging.
Iraq went as far as
Wait
to
till
say,
right at the big end
I
and
got
just
so
get to the
upset.
end.
And we get stupidity.
Said that I wanted to bust the TV set. I really did. Compounding the upset was the fact that the authorities were also very furious. The FCC in particular were really, really not happy at all. Because they had to take time out of figuring out what downloading is so that they could stop people from doing it to cars in order to investigate.
Wait, but back then cars didn't have a... Wait,
No,
in the 80s did they...
No, there was no internet. He's just joking, but
Oh.
they're more worried about piracy. Remember that? Remember when you got those DVD warnings? You wouldn't download a car. You wouldn't steal a car. You wouldn't... Moving on.
Badoogie?
Move on.
It was like an emergency broadcast test when you were recording. Yes!
Hey,
Hi, welcome.
Whatever the fuck this bullshit
Zelda.
was.
Zelda.
And
Zelda.
once they got their culprit, with
Zelda,
WTTW
yeah.
even offering a reward for leads, they were ready and eager to pursue justice to the tune of up to a $100,000 fine and up to a year in prison.
Oh.
So why such a serious punishment? Well, frankly, this has happened before. And the
Is it because he showed his buns?
Probably.
authorities and corpos were
doing
sick
good.
of it. Just earlier that year, an employee at the Christian Broadcasting Network got fined $1,000 and sentenced to 150 hours of community service and 3 years of probation for hijacking the Playboy channel.
What are they doing to the Playboy Wait, there's a Playboy channel?
There was. They were hijacking the Playboy. It was a Christian hijacking the Playboy channel. Why do you think they would do that?
Oh, okay. Now that you mentioned the Christian part, okay. It's like, I'm sitting here jacking off to something on the Playboy channel.
And then
all-
Jesus pops up.
I was like, oh, yep, there goes my heart.
And he played on it a reminder that, "Thus saith the Lord thy God, remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. Repent, the kingdom of heaven is at hand." And he played this right in the middle of when they were showing a porno.
Well, whoever was fapping it is not fapping it no more. decide to tell me to stop fapping it to
That's really fucking based, actually. And most notably, HBO actually had their satellite signal completely hijacked in April of 1986. So that a vigilante named Captain Midnight could publicly berate them for scrambling their signal.
Good evening, HBO. From Captain Midnight. 12.95/dollars a month. No way. Showtime/movie channel beware. Huh.
You got pissed because they raised the rates. Can we do that to Netflix?
Hey, this is much better than the one person who decided to burn down a warehouse.
True.
Signal to stop non-subscribers from watching on privately owned dishes, which actually crashed the satellite dish market because it was much cheaper to just get cable.
Yeah.
Captain Midnight was soon unmasked as John R. McDougal, a disgruntled satellite dish salesman because, of course, and also a Florida man. And he was just looking to protest his business being ruined. He ended up with a $5,000 fine, a year of probation, and the knowledge that such stunts were ruined for everybody else in the future because the offence was actually upgraded.
How could you let yourself get caught? Boo! Now no one can hijack channels anymore.
To a felony in response to the Captain Midnight case.
Damn.
I love how so many hackers way back in the day just got away with all of this shit because all of the technology was just so new that there weren't even laws for it yet. Even earlier than Captain Midnight, we actually had a TV hijacking here in the UK. In 1977, ITV Southern Television was actually interrupted by an audio message that was claimed to be from aliens.
Hey, there you go. That's the stuff I like to see, the aliens.
Dolphins figured out that it happened because the hijacked Hannington transmitter was broadcasting a signal from another transmitter instead of through everyone's landline. So, with enough technical knowledge and wizardry, video pirates could actually War of the Worlds the signal. However, that explanation was too technical and nerdy for ufologists, who applied Occam's razor and concluded that it really was aliens.
I mean, why not, right?
Oh, this shit.
When you can't explain something, it has to be aliens.
It must be harder to do this shit today because everything's digitized.
No. Nowadays you have the internet.
Yeah, you hack people's streams, but...
Wait, you can hack a stream?
If you get someone's stream key, yeah, you can do that.
Oh.
Trying to contact us. But since all of these incidents, and the Max Headroom hijacking in particular, TV stations actually started encrypting their signals to prevent such chicanery from happening again. And thanks to digital broadcasting, it's basically impossible now. There are some theoretical fringe edge cases that are potentially feasible, but they're so outrageously complicated that I doubt anyone will even bother to try.
Kitty, no!
You have the hiccups?
Oh, give him cat pats.
Popping up.
Oh, kitty. Oh.
There you go.
You know what's gonna suck?
What?
If Broccoli randomly decides to die during a stream.
And Flipper deserves.
Flipper devices.
Flipper devices. Oh.
He had the dry heaves.
Besides, the internet is all the rage now, and who can you even troll when no one is even watching TV anymore? And besides, it's a lot more fun to just simply raid a random Twitch stream with the boys. Which I promise I absolutely have not done. While he managed to catch Captain Midnight and the
didn't
Playboy
throw up, so that's
Pontiff,
good.
Dr. Marcus despite his best efforts, was actually unable to find the mastermind behind the Max Headroom hijackings. None of the leads were strong enough to establish the probable cause needed to pursue them. And to Marcus's great chagrin, no one could even really be arsed with it anyway, since it would have just been a big bureaucratic headache over what was really just a prank that caused no physical damage and didn't hurt anyone. Even the FBI actually tried examining the footage to establish where it was filmed, as well as who the French maid was. But you can't just zoom, enhance your way to a suspect. Especially since whoever it is...
Yeah, the French maid, her face was completely cut off, and then the guy was wearing a mask.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What are those titties?
Clearly wearing a mask. But, apart from this case being the one that got away, Marcus doesn't seem too bothered when he said, in the radio world, a lot of strange things happen.
Yep.
And you can do weird things once and probably get away with it. If you do it multiple times, there's more of a chance you'll be caught.
Yeah, kind of like back when the milling car first did that riding the wall trick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get away with it once, but then as I said, fuck no.
Yeah. It was innovative, but then, yeah, no, everyone wants to do it, and then it's just a nuisance.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the more times you do something, the more times you get caught. That's why, like, someone, like, when they scam, they get greedy. Mm-hmm. And that's how they get caught.
Right.
Seen this guy for over 20 years. But apart from the culture of silence and anonymity in the hacking community, there's no reason at all for the minds behind the Max Headroom hijacking not to come forward, because the statute of limitations for that shit actually ran out in 1992. The only consequences left on the table...
I will say they are probably dead. If this happened all the way back in the 80s.
You never know.
I'm gonna go with dead.
Or simply near infinite bragging rights. Naturally, the lack of a culprit or even lack of any suspects whatsoever.
Someone's gonna die and go through their grandfather's attic, and they're gonna find all the videotape and all the evidence. So that would be funny.
Caused imaginations to just run wild.
Space.
Time. The word.
Time.
The future. Future.
Over the decades, with theories about who done it ranging from a simple student prank to the actions of a disgruntled technician to hacktivism and to even performance art. Rowan reckons that it was just some tech nerds, but on the idea of it being an inside job, he did say that if some spurned applicants or disgruntled employees figured out a way to do that, they should have been working here in the first place. But
good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's a disgruntled employee, it's like, nah, who the fuck were we to fire you when you're doing something as crazy as this?
Yeah, like it's not easy to do that.
If anything, they need a raise.
Yeah.
Sounded like he was genuinely impressed. Some people also believe that the actual purpose of the hijackings may have been a lot more sinister. Like, either being a test case for potential terrorist sabotage, or a psyop designed to scare people through its surrealism, shock value, and the fact that it's completely unexplained. I know that for some people, the most deeply disturbing part would be that the hijacking interrupted Doctor Who. So, there is a non-zero chance that it was the very first thing that really activated millennial woes. One theory that really got people excited was actually driven by a Reddit AMA by a Chicagoan programmer named Bowie Poe, who believed that the Max Headroom hijacking was broadcast by two brothers in the hacking scene, who he dubbed J and K. And he claimed to have actually met them at a meeting of fellow hacking enthusiasts.
Okay, then, was one of the brothers wearing the maid outfit the whole time?
Probably.
got enough attention to warrant a write-up by Vice. But the theory always stood on shaky ground because, in the interest of preserving J&K's anonymity, Pogue didn't post any receipts or provide any other evidence whatsoever. Pogue later retracted his theory, after concluding that there was no way that amateur broadcasters could have access to the caliber of equipment and supply of energy needed to pull this hijacking off.
Also, neither one of them looked good enough in a dress.
Playing the game with giants.
Spooter, just for you, Nusky. Aww. What game with Giant Spider? Technically, we were with Resident Evil, and we murdered it!
Oh yeah, the plan is we're going to try to beat the game tonight because I'm so close to the end.
Yeah.
See giant spider pictures.
As he put it, neither existed in the wild in 1987. Personally,
Sure.
I think that J&K probably paid him a visit and very politely asked him to shut his fucking mouth. And then Pogue just forgot everything in his head that made this theory make sense. Still, while that lead might have been a dead end, the hijackings still capture the public's imagination.
Yep.
And Swirsky has remained very, very confused to this day about why he was even part of it in the first place. When he said, people always say, hey, are you the guy that's in the Max Headroom thing? And I'm like, yeah. It's rather strange. I'm just a basketball announcer.
Well, it helped boost his career, I guess. So that's awesome, right? Confused about it, but hey, when you get an orange, you squeeze it and get orange juice.
Lemon.
I know, I'm using an orange because would it be lemony?
What are the oranges for?
I like oranges.
All in all, he still took it in good humour. And when a Vice reporter asked him if there was anything he would like to say to the hijackers, he laughed it off with, I probably wouldn't say anything because I don't want them to do it again.
Yeah, yeah. So ultimately, all ends well as moves well, but yeah, definitely the fact that, okay, so this was an older video, yeah?
Yeah.
That Count Dankula did. Okay, I find it ironic that I did watch a random-ass conspiracy theory video talking about it, and yeah, that's why I was bringing up the time traveler alien idea.
OJ.
So yeah, it is
As
still
in
being
particular-
talked about to this day.
Yeah, because it's just a misery because no one... You think someone would have talked by now.
Meow.
Especially since the statute of limitations run out. You got no consequences.
Yep. I'm telling you, they're dead.
Bothered about being part of the incident's legacy either, when he said, to be perfectly honest, I would probably give Max Headroom a second thought, beyond the fact that people email me or call me probably 4 or 5 times a year. So, it certainly had an impact on somebody, maybe not
now.
quite so much on me.
OJ now.
Personally, what I find very
Orange juice.
interesting about the
Orange
entire
juice.
thing is that it was very much in keeping with the spirit of
It
Max
has to be a specific kind of orange juice. It has to have no pulp and not be super, super sour. More sweet.
More sweet.
More sweet. I do want to eat an orange, though.
Headroom, perhaps even elevating it. You see, part of the lore of Max Headroom's dystopian world is freedom fighters hijacking, or as they call it in universe, zipping into the broadcasts of TV stations to subvert the corpo's messaging and get the truth out. And as the...
Ultimately, I think all that would have more meaning on me if I ever knew what the Max Head thingy was.
Yeah, it's a movie, but...
Yeah, if we actually saw it in junk.
irony poisoning that started to develop in the postmodern era that we find ourselves in, of course, that
An old
Max
TV
Headroom
show.
zipping into the real world was going to take the form of a weirdly prescient
Yeah, we're too young for old TV show. You can look it up on YouTube. Yeah. Wonder if it's any good.
primitive proto-shitpost. Not to blame him for every publicised crime that takes place, but I do see shades of Sam Hyde in this entire affair. Especially since the real Max Headroom is
That's
very...
a joke. Every time there's a mass shooting, Sam Hyde's a political guy. And all his fans always say, oh, it's Sam Hyde, and they put the picture of the shooter up, and it's always Sam Hyde. And there's times where he's been investigated by the FBI. He's had his face on the news first, and then they have to retract it later. He's been responsible for every mass shooting for the last 20 years. It's a joke.
I'm not familiar with said joke.
Adult Swim coded.
It's
The
a funny
hijackings
show? Okay.
are certainly one of the first instances of trolling as we know it today. And it's not as if Sam isn't known to completely derail unduly respected institutions with a wildly abstract
State-enforced homosexuality.
prediction of the
Left
future
wing?
for a laugh.
No, he's right wing.
Point being, I think Sam Hyde is a lot older than we all think. But the problem with such irony poisoning is that the entire Max Headroom gimmick has basically become the hacking equivalent of the Akira slide. Apart from a nostalgic appeal for pre-digital technology and 80s genre trappings, nothing actually came of the hijackings whatsoever.
Yeah.
Boomers may actually have a 100% attrition rate when it comes to getting one shot by the TV, but they shoot back with such vacuousness and accelerated metaphysical entropy that just nothing is edgy anymore.
Meow.
Also, I miss funny hacks. Nowadays it's all data breaches and ransomware and, oh, I'll post your nudes if you don't give me money and all that. What happened to the funny...
That sounds more like blackmail.
He posted a picture of Max Headroom in the video.
hacks?
Maybe after
What
showing
happened to
them,
hacking the
probably
CIA
have to check some of
website
that
and
out.
replacing it with Goatsy?
Yeah.
I miss funny hacks. Bring back the funny hacks.
But boo. Yeah, Count Dankula! Go subscribe and like him! Rah! Thank you so much for joining us for this video. Definitely some weird stuff. Very interesting. Goodbye!
5-minute break.
Thank you all for joining me. Please like, subscribe, and comment. It would make me very happy. Kiss, kiss, hug, hug.